wake up guys, global warming isn't real.
There is no climate change in the manner in which they speak.
I've met people out in the real world who have been very skeptical about the work that I do, but I want to tell them there are no conspiracies. Climate change is real.
Doug works for the Met Office as a scientist, so he knows how big a threat climate change is.
Temperatures in England breached 40 degrees Celsius for the first time.
Devastating scenes that have become all too familiar.
This area has not seen sustained rain for 2.5 years.
The evidence of climate change is overwhelming, but on TikTok you might get a different impression.
3 facts why climate change is not man-made.
The banks of this world know it's not going to happen.
There's a lot that you see which disputes the basic facts of climate change, and it's very easy to take away a false picture about how certain we are about climate science. I see this again and again and again. It makes me feel tired, and it makes me feel like I want to do better in communicating the science of climate change.
And Doug has taken matters into his own hands through TikTok.
Now that's a phrase that we're going to have to get used to.
As a climate scientist, I want people to understand how it will impact them right now and in the future.
And Doug is not alone.
What's up guys, Rosh here and
This is Rosh. He studied climate change at university, a subject that is close to his heart.
Half my family lives in Sri Lanka, which is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world to climate change. There's people I care about are going to be affected and are being affected by climate change in the here and now.
Rosh has thousands of followers on social media. He is known for debunking viral videos that make false claims about climate change.
And I do that by basically comparing the claims being made to scientific literature and exposing where they go wrong.
And Rosh says there's no shortage of videos for him to fact-check.
On TikTok, it's arguably particularly bad because of the way TikTok as a platform works. Anyone can post anything and it has the potential to reach thousands or even millions of views. Bad arguments can spread really fast and there's no real checks and balances there to make sure that the information is accurate.
What would you say to people who look at what you do on TikTok and perhaps describe you as the thought police?
I'm not trying to censor anyone. And I couldn't if I tried, right? I just wish there were more people in my position who will stand up and engage in this, because at the moment it is overwhelmingly dominated by people who, frankly, haven't got the scientific background to have an informed discussion about this.
TikTok is aware of the problem, so to mark Earth Month last April, it announced a new policy on climate change misinformation. The company said it would remove content that undermines the well-established scientific consensus on climate change. Videos stating, for example, that climate change isn't happening or that it's not man-made. A policy that some say goes further than those of other social media platforms.
It certainly seems to have taken a slightly more explicit approach to removal. I would say it follows the pattern of other platforms like Meta, Google and Pinterest, in the sense that it's quite fixated on content moderation.
So we decided to put TikTok's new policy to the test. We identified 365 videos that broke the rules because they denied man-made climate change is real. We reported those videos to TikTok under the category of harmful misinformation, which is available to any user. We waited for at least a day and then went back to find out whether they'd been taken down. As it turns out, almost 95% of the videos we reported were still on TikTok. And make no mistake, these posts are getting attention. They racked up almost 30 million views.
That building over there? That's TikTok's UK headquarters right here at the heart of London. I asked the company for an interview, but it declined. Instead, it sent us a statement.
It said the company prohibits harmful climate change misinformation, and that it has permanently removed the content and accounts that we found violated its policies. It also said it's working with fact-checkers and that people searching for content about climate change on TikTok are being shown a link to authoritative information. After we sent TikTok links to all the videos we reported, they took most of them down. And the ones that are still online, well, for the most part, they will no longer be recommended to new users. And to top it all, TikTok suspended 65 accounts that had been posting wrong information about climate change. Meanwhile, at the Met Office, Doug feels encouraged by the steps TikTok has taken.
As a climate scientist, I really appreciate that TikTok have got this policy and that it's going to take time to make fully operational.
Still, I asked Doug, is kicking people off TikTok, removing their content, really the best way to fix the problem?
Removing harmful content probably has its places, but as a scientist, I'm happy to be challenged. Maybe we should be focused on really promoting good climate science information rather than just removing the content that we perhaps don't like.